Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany Bundles, and today's video is going to be all about pricing. I'm going to be talking about pricing products, and I'm also going to be sharing a personal experience that I had with one of my business mentees going over. I'm just going to share her example because I think it's a great example for this video. Pretty much, she was concerned about not receiving so many sales when we first started working together. And I always talk about selling on the value, not the price. But I do also I encourage you to do what you feel works best for you. So she did feel like reducing her prices would work best for her. And there was actually something that happened that was interesting that she didn't expect to happen in her business experience. So I'm going to be sharing that with you. Everything is confidential. I'm not going to be sharing any names or her business platforms or anything like that. If you are interested in this video, though, if pricing is something that you're interested in business, be sure to give the video a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed. And also, I'm going to be doing a community poll on my channel probably later today. I'm trying to make a video every single day this month, and I want to know what times you want me to upload the video. The timing is important because not everyone's going to see when I upload a video, especially if I'm uploading very frequently a video a day or multiple videos a day. So I want to know what time works best for you all. That way you'll know that, I'm posting at this time. So even if you can't watch the video at that time, you can always, just have a mental note like, okay, Brittany's going to post at 4 today, Eastern time, or she's going to post at 3 Eastern time, which is 1 my time, or, just so you can have an expectation. So be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed, and let's get right into the video. I want to let you all know, like I say in a lot of my videos, pricing is not the only reason why your sales may have decreased. Yes, pricing is important. I'm not going to say that it's not. I'm not going to say that no one looks at the pricing or the numbers, but I am going to let you know that a lot of people will purchase what they want. It was interesting. I was sitting at the grocery store, and I just overheard this conversation. But I just thought it was interesting. I was sitting in the in the parking spot waiting to get my groceries, and a car pulls up next to me, and the woman, she was on the phone. She was just talking really loudly. She was like, my car is not working. I'm going to take bottles back so I can get dinner for tonight. I spent my last getting my nails done. And I was thinking like, oh my gosh, like that's horrible. I'm trying not to listen, but it's kind of hard not to. The conversation is so loud. And then I just thought to myself, I'm like, wow, she mentioned she spent her last on getting her nails done. And that's, none of that was my business, right? Like I just overheard the conversation. But I started thinking about the days that I was working at a credit union, and I would have people that would call in and they would want like a loan for something, maybe an auto loan, and their applications would get denied based on like their debt to income and their credit score. And one thing that I would notice on a lot of applications that were declined, because they were also members of the credit union, we would look at like their transactions, kind of get a feel for their payment history, get a feel for their spending habits, get a feel for how financially responsible they were, to see if we could lend them money. Because sometimes we'll have a member with a lower credit score, but the credit score was lower because some of the credit cards were limit decreased. And so it caused some of the cards to be over limit, which can bring your credit score down. So, but they still had on-time payments, and they still were very responsible when it came to their spending on the credit union side. And I know some people would say, that's not fair. It seems like I'm getting a disadvantage by you looking at my spending habits and you having all the information here. You can see every time that I overdrew my account and what I overdrew it for. But I mean, I could see both sides. It could work in your advantage and not work in your advantage. One thing that I want to say, though, is that even those scenarios, people buy what they tend to want. A lot of times, even before their needs. Especially if they're not good with money management. And that's a skill, it's a skill to learn how to manage your money. And that's why a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with staying in business, not just because they have a problem making money. That is the biggest misconception when people go out of business. A lot of people think, well, they weren't making any money. That's not necessarily true. I know when I closed my salon, I was making money from the salon, but there were other factors that went into me closing. It's not just about making money, but it's also being able to manage it, which I'm going to talk about and some other videos because I'm really passionate about that. And I have years of experience in the financial industry, working alongside of underwriters and being a loan officer myself. But getting back to the point, people buy what they want to buy, right? And people buy based on what they perceive the value to be. Sometimes you can see, it was a conversation going on Facebook, excuse me. And I'm in psychology currently, so I enjoy just analyzing certain situations, whether it's in my life, others' lives. I just like behavior analysis. I like seeing what's going on and how people think and perceive information. So there was this conversation, and this woman was, someone was talking about her and saying, hey, you only wear this designer shirt. That's the only shirt that you have. I only see you posting this shirt. And she was like, yeah, I paid $1,000 and something dollars for this shirt. So you best believe I'm going to wear it all the time. And, I just really was thinking about that. And it reiterated again, people buy what they want. People find a way a lot of times to get what they want. So when you're thinking about, and it's based on their like their perception of the value and the quality that you're providing. So when you're thinking about pricing and you're like, I'm just going to lower my price, not only does it lower the price, but in a lot of people's minds, it lowers the value, because a lot of people start thinking, well, if her quality, like if her hair quality, I sell hair extensions. So use hair for an example. If her hair quality or extensions are this good, why are they marked down this low? Like, just think about it. If you were buying some hair extensions, right? And you know that it's rare to get some hair extensions, not in wholesale, just go in and buy hair extensions that are great quality for $15. If someone was trying to play, I'm going to be the cheapest out there, you may look over that, even if you're on a tight budget, because you're like, wow, I don't want to spend my money on crap that I'm going to have to replace very soon. I want to be able to get the most out of my investment. I want to look nice. I want to feel good. So I'm not going to pay $15 for that. There are certain corporations that only market to certain financial brackets, and they don't advertise based on the price. They advertise based on the value and the perceived perception of the quality and the perceived perception of the value. So when you're taking all of that into consideration, again, I like doing a lot of analysis, and you put that back into your own business and you start thinking about, well, dang, why am I not getting sales? Don't look at just the pricing, because the pricing, you can price your products if the quality and value is there. If you're able to sell on the value, if you're able to show people why they want this, or why they would need this, or why this solves a problem, that's half of the battle is already won. There'll be times where people have lowered their prices where when I've worked with them, and I've asked them to reach back out to that client that left like an abandoned cart or left a chat, and ask them, hey, follow up with them, see where they decided to go, where did they end up purchasing from. And they would tell them, hey, I purchased from this company. And you'll go on their website and see their price may even be like $10 higher than yours. And so you may sit back and wonder, like, what the heck? I thought you said you were looking for a deal. Don't be completely price focused that you lose sight of the bigger picture. Work on building up your business based on value. So when I was working with my mentee, she was really, really concerned about not getting as many sales as she wanted last month. And so we went over an action plan. And as always, I give my mentees and everyone I work with the opportunity to do what works best for you. I'm not going to strong arm you. I ultimately think that every entrepreneur should do what works best for them, what they feel is the best move. Because even if you don't do it, a lot of times there'll be like that lingering feeling like, man, I should have did this. If I would have did it this way, then I would have had this. So it's good sometimes to try what you feel is going to be the best and see what results it brings you. So she lowered her prices substantially. Now, when you lower your prices substantially, you also take away that buffer that you have to be able to negotiate and work with people and give people deals. So if you're buying a product, like you're buying hair extensions, you're getting the extensions in, you already are, you're having to match the pricing so that you get a profit, right? And depending on how you're buying the extensions, if you're not doing wholesale, if you're doing like pay as you go or drop shipping, you're not getting as much of a profit as you could if you were buying in bulk, right? Or creating the product yourself, like in-house, which you're not doing with hair extensions, but I'm just, giving you an example of other industries and businesses and products out there. Some companies create their products in-house and it saves a lot. So, and it gives them, a bigger profit, like all their profit. Anyways, so for the hair, she lowered the pricing down and she got someone that emailed her and was like, hey, my friend bought hair from you last month and she said you gave her a really good discount. Is there any way you can work with me? Now, typically, once you sell on the value and once someone's like, I want to buy, but is there anything you can do? That's your chance to really kind of build that relationship and say, hey, what I can do for you is give you this much off, as a loyalty discount. All I need you to do is sign up for my email mailing list, refer another person. I also offer referral discounts, and you can go on and kind of build up your book of business that way. But if you have dropped your pricing so low where you're only getting a few dollars or $10 in a profit, you don't really leave too much room for you to be able to work out any deals with anyone or to offer any referral discounts. And so my mentee was explaining to the potential client, she was like, well, hey, I lowered my pricing when your friend purchased. She was purchasing at our standard rates, but that's before we did our big price cut. Well, the new client didn't really care. She was like, well, she got a discount. Why didn't I get a discount? Like, that's what stuck out. Not the pricing, just the fact that her friend got a discount. Now she can't get a discount. So you have to start thinking, it's very wise to think like a consumer would think, okay? It's not just, sometimes certain words stick out more than others. I did a video a few months ago just going over some marketing strategies that different corporations use that play into like the psychology realm, like how people perceive and what they think about. And so discount is a huge word. Deal, I'm gonna cut this price. All of that sticks out in someone's mind a lot of times more than a lower price. And it gives them like, not everyone, but some people feel like a sense of adrenaline, like a rush, like their dopamine, like it's just released when they feel like they really got a great deal. Like it makes them happy. So it didn't work well in that scenario. The potential client ended up not purchasing. She felt like my mentee was showing favoritism to her friend, not her. Her friend ended up reaching out and was like, hey, I didn't think that it would be a discount or a problem for my friend to get the discount. Like it was a whole big thing, right? And her sales still did not really increase. So instead of working on lowering your prices, work on creating your prices at a price point where it's not necessarily too low, where you have enough room, I used to call it wiggle room, to be able to negotiate deals and sales and offer promotions if you want to. And then also start selling on the value. So if you don't see the quality in what you're offering, you don't need to offer it, because it's going to be very, very challenging unless you're just good at putting on a mask and selling and I don't want to say being deceptive, but selling what you don't really feel. Then you're going to probably want to go towards something that you feel passionate about. Like for me, it's hard for me to sell anything that I don't believe in. So I even get like different sponsored offers that I have to turn down, because if I'm not feeling it, it's hard for me to sell it to someone else. Number one, I'm going to feel bad about it. And then number two, it's just, I don't have anything to really relate it to, right? Like I don't have anything to really say, hey, this is why I would use it if I was you, or hey, based on what you told me, this is why I recommend you. I don't really, I have to be able to see the value. Even if I'm not using it all the time, I have to be able to see it. For example, like my hair extensions, I don't wear extensions all the time anymore like I used to, but I still know the value and the quality in the extensions that I offer, so I can still sell it. So number one, you have to be able to identify what that value is, and you have to be able to make it personal to you. And then you also have to be able to learn other people. So understand what they perceive value to be as. What do they care about? If you have a brick and mortar location, looking at who's coming in and being able to have a conversation and build rapport. If you see that they have a designer bag, like talking to them about what types of things that they're interested in, what type of events, pointing out their bag and letting them open up the conversation to see what this person is interested in, because they may be interested in not just the price, but the highest quality. And I got that correlation just kind of looking at the bag. Now, you don't want to make assumptions and just assume that you know everyone, but that's why you ask questions. That's why you open the conversation up. That's why you become conversational with people that you're working with. And that's why when you're not outside of your shell, when you are boxed in and nervous to build relationships to the point that it keeps you, it really holds you back from making more business connections, you have to find a way to overcome that. I'm not someone, like I say in a lot of videos, that was just very outspoken. Even now, if it's not for business, I'm not super outspoken, but I know that when I go into certain business ventures that I've created, there's going to be a level of relationship building, rapport building, right? That I'm going to need to do. And I can't just rely on my price to sell my products. So many of us rely on our prices to try and sell our products. Excuse me. We rely on like our website to try to sell our products. We rely on ads. We rely on different influencers. And yeah, all of those are great marketing strategies, right? Like you want to have a good website. That's very important when you're selling online. You want to have social proof and social referencing. So you want to be able to have other people review your products and services and get the word out there, right? You want to be able to have different ads going if that's what you want. Like you want to have some sort of way of bringing new people in. So my way, it's like YouTube, posting frequently. I've done ads in the past. So you want to do things like that. But you don't want to allow those things to sell the business for you. Like there's going to be some footwork, whether you want to do it or not, that is required for your business to take off. And so in this particular circumstance with my mentee, we're working now on her building her brand and her building her reputation, because I have people that come to me and they don't ask. A lot of my loyal customers that have been purchasing since like before I opened my salon, they don't even ask for a discount or a deal. They purchase a lot of times the same order. Like it'll be the same amount of bundles, the same length. Like when I see their name, I can already know like what they order pretty much. Like it's down to a T. And it's not because they couldn't find a cheaper hair company, not because I'm giving them the best discounts, but it's because they find value in what I'm offering. Like they enjoy what I'm offering. A lot of people have come to me from different drop shipping companies and decided to work with me because they enjoy the relationship. They enjoy the interaction. They enjoy that if they want to ask a question, I'm available. They don't have to wonder, is she going to get back to me? Oh, I need this answer because I have to tell my customer this answer. I don't know. And I'm waiting for my vendor. And they don't have to wait. I'm going to get back to them within a reasonable time frame. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, and in hopes of letting you all know that pricing is not the only issue. Like I said, if someone wants something bad enough, a lot of times they'll find ways to get it, even if that means they're not paying for. And it may sound crazy to some people, but if you don't have good spending habits, and I'm not saying promote on not having good spending habits or prey on someone's bad spending habits. I'm not saying that. Sometimes people will use pricing as a reason to justify why they don't want something that they already don't want. And then you'll see them buy something that's more expensive and you'd be like, well, I thought it was the pricing. So the bottom line is people get what they want. Like people end up going toward what they want despite all of the other obstacles, and again, you want to be able to help people out too. So pricing your products at the very lowest that you can. And then when someone comes to you and say, hey, do you have a discount? I'm gonna bring my friends and my mom to shop with you. You have and you can't offer that. At that point, it's gonna feel like you can't help anyways. And a lot of people are gonna perceive that you can't. So don't go to taking your price down to zero or the lowest that you can where you're really not making any profit. And then also think about it too. If you believe your business is providing a value, you have to stay in business. Like it takes money for you to stay in business. So the more you cut your prices, the more the higher likelihood you are of cutting yourself out of business, right? Like you have to be able to afford to stay in business. And you can't do that by always trying to be the cheapest, okay? So I hope this video helped. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I do want to thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye.